Hello everyone, welcome to my WNC channel. After sectarian clashes that killed 1,000 people and displaced 128,000, Syria's Sweida were calmed by a ceasefire. After a week of deadly sectarian fighting in Syria's Sweida province that left over 128,000 people homeless and over 1,000 dead, a fragile ceasefire has restored order. Bedouin groups, Druze fighters, and government forces were all drawn into the conflict, which was escalated by Islamist groups and Israeli strikes. After a week of sectarian violence between Druze fighters and rival groups that resulted in the deaths of more than 1,000 people, calm returned to the Sweida province in southern Syria on Sunday, according to a Monitor and AFP correspondents. After earlier agreements failed to put an end to fighting between longtime rivals the Druze and the Bedouin, the Islamist-led government, the Israeli military, and armed tribes from other parts of Syria, the ceasefire that was announced on Saturday appeared to be holding. On Sunday morning, AFP correspondents on the outskirts of Sweida city reported hearing no fighting. However, at least one humanitarian convoy was heading toward the Druze majority city and government forces were deployed in some areas of the province to enforce the truce. According to the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, Sweida has been experiencing a cautious calm since about midnight. Additionally, government security forces have blocked roads to the province to prevent tribal fighters from going there. The Britain-based observatory gave an updated toll on Sunday of more than 1,000 killed since the violence erupted a week ago, including 336 Druze fighters and 298 civilians from the minority group, as well as 342 government security personnel and 21 Sunni Bedouin. Witnesses, Druze factions, and the observatory have accused government forces of siding with the Bedouin and committing abuses including summary executions when they entered Sweida days ago. According to Dr. Hanadi Abaid, who is 39 years old, the city hasn't seen calm like this in a week, he stated to AFP. Absolutely calm. Sweida city was evacuated of all tribal fighters, and clashes within the city's neighborhoods were halted, according to an overnight statement from the Interior Ministry. The observatory had said Druze fighters retook control of the city on Saturday evening. In response to the most recent outbreak of sectarian violence since Islamists toppled Bashar al-Assad in December, interim President Ahmed al-Sharaa reiterated his commitment to safeguarding Syria's ethnic and religious minorities on Saturday. A spokesman for Syria's Tribal and Clan Council told Al Jazeera late Saturday that fighters had left the city in response to the call of the presidency and the terms of the agreement. On Sunday, an additional doctor working inside Sweida called AFP and stated, "The situation is completely calm. Conflicts aren't heard from us. No medical or relief assistance has entered until now," the medic added, requesting anonymity due to the security situation. Health Minister Musab al-Ali was quoted as saying that assistance would be delivered to Sweida's main hospital, where bodies have piled up, in an article that was published by the state news agency Sanaa. The images showed medical aid being prepared near the health ministry in Damascus. Inside the city, where around 150,000 people live, residents have been holed up in their homes without electricity and water, and food supplies have also been scarce. The violence in Sweida province has led to the displacement of over 128,000 people, according to the United Nations Migration Agency. Brutal actions. Sunday, Tom Barak, the U.S. Special Envoy for Syria, stated that the nation was at a critical juncture and that peace and dialogue must prevail, and prevail now. Brutal acts by warring factions on the ground undermine the government's authority and disrupt any semblance of order, he wrote on X, stating that all factions must immediately lay down their arms, cease hostilities, and abandon cycles of tribal vengeance. Hours before the United States said it had negotiated a ceasefire between the Syrian government and Israel, which had bombed government forces in Sweida and Damascus earlier this week, Sharaa made the announcement on Saturday. Continue reading the week in pictures, Israeli strikes in Gaza and Syria, Ukraine's new prime minister, and fireworks from the Eiffel Tower. Israel, which has a Druze community of its own, has said that it is protecting the group and enforcing its demands for the complete demilitarization of Syria's south.